Hello. This is an energetic transmission on this week. If you've been tuning into what's going on, it's a powerful, energetic week. And I did a class this week knowing that was the timing of things called Release to Receive. And it was a class that was about working with the Akashic records to really shed the skin and work with that snake energy and just like really let go of some deep things so that we are open and available to receive the prosperity that's here for us at this time in this season, and that we can create that space. And so when I was setting up the class, I was thinking a lot about like the snake energy and really shedding skin and really like getting in touch with the prosperity that's there when you shed what is no longer part of the story. And when I came into the energy of the class with the group that had, assembled, the energy also works with the people who are going to be part of it. So I had this idea with the Akasha, and then the people that are called to be part of it show up, and then the energy is really impacted also by the people who show up. And so the energy, once we were in the class, was like just this beautiful, I'm going to share the images, like just this beautiful like egg and the cracking open, and the Akashic energy was reminding me about a teaching I was given from the Akashic field many years ago when I first started working with this energy to create my teachings and create like kind of the perspective and the lens through which I work with people. And the Akasha was reminding me I often use an image like that for teaching the Law of Readiness. And so a big part of that group session this week, and also this energy I feel for all of us right now, is about what I call the Law of Readiness. And whenever people start with me in a container or in a group, that's one of the first things we just land as the foundation, is we're going to be working with the Law of Readiness. We're going to be understanding the lens of what we're doing through the idea that whatever is happening, we're ready for. Whatever is not happening, we're ready for it to not happen. We're ready for it to happen if it's happening. Whatever is going on, like we're going to be present with what is and just trust. If it's happening, we're ready to handle it. The right environment, the right circumstances, the right people, the right resources will be here because it's happening. And so it can never be too little or too much. It can never be too fast or too slow. If we're really like with the energy and we're just following our process, we can know we're working with the Law of Readiness. And if it's happening, we're ready for it. And so we came in with that energetic. And as I really thought about it, it was like, of course, prosperity is really about readiness, right? Like we actually have to be ready to hold and have the resource and the prosperity, whatever that is for us. The resource itself has to be ready to be received. And the same thing with letting something go. Like we actually can't force or pull something off before it's ready, or take something or shed something before we're ready and expect to have the benefits that letting go is supposed to give us, right? Like we have to really be with the Law of Readiness and not force it and not judge and not critique. But if we can really come into, approval for how it's going naturally, then we can actually shed what's really ready to shed and receive what we're really ready to receive, and actually have the benefits of releasing something and actually have the experience of receiving something. And sometimes when we receive something before we're ready, it's more like we just accumulate it. And it's like we don't even realize it's there. It's just like kind of another thing that's around, or it becomes more of a burden, instead of it feeling like, oh, I'm honored to have this responsibility to care for this thing. Because with great gifts and privilege often comes great responsibility. It's like if we're not having the gift and the privilege because we weren't ready to have it, we're just going to accumulate it. It's just going to feel like a pain in the ass. And we didn't expect that. So that was the energy we were working with for the class. It's the energy I really feel here this week, but I just want to land that before I tell you the other piece of what's here this week. So what we're landing is the idea of the Law of Readiness, that things happen as we're ready, that we don't need to force having something because we'll just accumulate it. We don't need to force tearing something off because we're just going to harm ourselves. We can just work with the natural pace. And so before I give you the other piece, and then we're just going to sort of ground for these eclipse energies, I want you to just really breathe that in, just relaxing the body and relaxing into the idea of readiness. And so anywhere you've been feeling tight about I'm ready and it's here, or I'm not ready and it's here, whatever in your reality you're feeling you're ready for or not ready for, and like you're feeling tight about it, let's just bring in the truth that if it's here, you're ready. And if it's not here, you're ready. And we're just going to breathe that in. The energy of readiness. Maybe even seeing that like a beautiful golden egg that's just starting to crack, because that's the frequency between it being a whole egg and it being opened and something coming out. The frequency in between is that readiness. So let's just breathe that in. Exhaling, letting that come into your heart, letting that relax the chest, letting the shoulders soften and relax. Letting the base of the spine open and relax, and letting the spine itself just smooth out. Just letting the breeze, like it's almost like a nice breeze, just come in, and what you're ready for is happening. Whatever it is, you're ready, and you're releasing things through this eclipse and full moon that you're ready to release. And you're bringing in things that you're ready to truly have. And it's all happening very organically through the law of readiness. Let that settle in. Hi. So that's the first piece. That whatever's happening, we're ready for. If it's here, we're ready. If it's not here, we're ready. We're ready for it to be whatever is the reality we're in. And the next piece that really came through when we were doing this class is about the idea of an energetic signature. So if you don't know what an energetic, if you haven't heard of the concept of an energetic signature before, the way I think of it is like, it's like an anniversary, for example. There's anniversaries, there's people, there's locations, there's events, there's works of art, there's smells and foods that immediately transport us back to a very specific field of energy, right? And so we can actively work with those anniversaries or those, events or people that bring us into something very specific. Maybe they're triggering, maybe they're nostalgic, maybe we like it, maybe we don't, right? But there's like these things that I just call energetic signatures. Certain dates have them. I'm going to talk about periods of time for the most part in this moment. Certain dates have energetic signatures for us. And we can try to deny, like we can choose to avoid the energetic signature or avoid that it impacts us. But what we'll typically find is if we have a really strong energetic signature with a certain event or period of time or anniversary, it'll find us. It'll find us either way. We'll end up having an experience, and we'll typically then remember, oh my gosh, this is the day this happened 8 years ago, right? So I really like working with energetic signatures because I think that's a great way to release and receive, because every time we have an opportunity to revisit these signatures, we're showing up differently than the last time, right? Like every birthday, every holiday, every whatever it is for you, every time you're back in that city, every time you're back with that person, every time you cook that meal again, you're showing up transformed from the last time you were there, which means you have a different capacity. And so if you enter these, hey babe, if you enter these energetic signatures consciously, there's so much to receive there, right? whatever we're ready for. So this is why I'm tying in readiness with these energetic signatures. We work with the law of readiness. So if something's happening, it means we're ready for it. And we're working with energetic signatures, which means we can consciously be aware that we're in a field of energy that is very specific to a period of time for us. And we can revisit, which are what eclipses are about. We can revisit, and this time with this awareness and with this trust in our readiness, we can let ourselves receive something new, and we can let ourselves release something we haven't released yet. So this came up a lot this week as I was going into the group session for Release to Receive. And I realized one of the big energetic signatures that we're all in this week is that 5 years ago is when COVID began, right? The experience, the collective experience of being impacted by COVID began. And some people released a lot, some people received a lot. Like, there are many different experiences that people had with COVID, right? As unique as everyone in the world is as unique an experience. And there's also certain experiences that we really shared together. But either way, nobody's life was ever the same since this time 5 years ago. The whole culture, I mean, I don't even need to tell you, right? Like, the whole culture of the world completely changed. And so that is an energetic signature that is inside of this period of time with these eclipses and with the full moon and with this March astrology, right? Like, we're also in the energetic signature of that first experience of COVID. And sometimes as I said, we're working with the readiness. So, that may be something you were aware of or not. But I was realizing, like, wow, like this 5 years, that's like a solid amount of time. That's enough time to have gone through a full process from when that first happened 5 years ago to now. And I was thinking that, and then someone recommended to me to watch, people keep telling me to watch this show, The Pit, which maybe you've heard of. It's on HBO Max. And it's like the Noah Wiley from ER, he's back. He's a doctor again. And it is the most realistic hospital drama I think has ever happened. And what occurred to me, and I never watched it, and I was like, oh, I don't know, it's going to trigger me. I don't think I want to go to that energetic signature, because if you don't know me, I've spent a lot of time in hospitals. I had a lot of illness and death in my family. And so, like, I have a lot of energetic signatures, and I was like, why would I want to watch something that's so realistic? And suddenly, the night before this class this week, I suddenly felt very called to, like, try this show. And it was just, like, so funny because the whole season is about the lead character moving through an energetic signature. So I'm not going to spoil it if you're going to watch it. But basically, it's super real. Hey, Tony. It's super realistic. And it's supposed to be basically now. And the doctor is in an anniversary related to COVID that he hasn't been willing to feel and to let in for the last 4 years. And this is his first year going back to work and saying, I opened to being in the energetic signature of this experience I had during COVID. And, the first episode, everyone's kind of tiptoeing around him like, it's the sad anniversary of whatever the thing is, right? If you watch the show. And then the whole season is just that day. So every episode is 1 hour in this shift. And the whole shift is about how he responds to being in this energetic signature of this day. And so I just thought it was, like, pretty funny because I could feel that's where we were going to go in this class. And I can feel that's where we are in this week, where we're ready for new things. We've now had several years of an opening, of an awakening, of an activating, of a major transformation as on a collective level and then on an individual level, where we are now in an energetic signature where we probably have something to release that we wouldn't have been ready for, Law of Readiness, we wouldn't have been ready for until this year. And we probably have something we're ready to fully receive, something that has been growing and blooming within us for the last several years, that we're finally ready to actually experience and receive, or perhaps an opportunity that's been slowly growing alongside us where we couldn't see it. And now we've made some space, or we've opened our capacity and we can actually receive it. So that, I just wanted to lay that down. This has been the energies I'm seeing this week, that we're really working with both releasing and receiving have to do with our readiness. And we can't force readiness, because we won't actually experience the benefit of releasing or receiving. When we're forcing something that we're not ready for, we'll either feel harmed by the release, or we'll just accumulate the receiving, and it'll just feel like a burden instead of a gift. And then, I'm just seeing how we're in this energetic signature of a very life-changing week 5 years ago, where our world will never be the same, and many people's lives were never the same after that. And now we've had a few years to actually be in the new version of our world and create new lifestyles and give ourselves permission for new experiences or new ways of living and working. And so I think this is a year where, if you're consciously in the energetic signature of this year, of this anniversary of the COVID, sort of that beginning, there's probably something really powerful that you can do when you consciously visit this. There's something for you to release. There's going to be something for you to receive. And you can do this with any sort of energetic signature. Now that you have this awareness, or maybe you already did. Hey, good to see you, Shannon. You can now work with this, right? So that's why I like to really get in there. I like to work with the Akashic records on these specific dates and events and places. Hi, Catherine. So how do we basically consciously, and and I feel like this actually is appropriate for you as well, just knowing what your week's been like. Quick recap, we're talking about the law of readiness, and really being ready to receive something, and really being ready to let something go, and that it's really something we can't force, and we also can't deny, right? And this week, we're in these very powerful energetic signatures. So this week is like the start of COVID 5 years ago. So these dates have a powerful energetic signature, but different locations have a really powerful energetic signature as well. So I just happen to know you went on a trip today where you were in a powerful energetic signature, because locations have it. And when we go to these places consciously, we can really let something go and really bring something in that we're finally ready for. So what allows us to be ready? And now we're kind of going to go into the grounding piece. If you've been having an intense eclipse week, I'm just going to energetically ground us. So what creates a scenario where we actually can consciously work with an energetic signature? And it's just being in our body. That's it. That's the difference, because you've probably noticed people who go around and around about a story, or about a relationship, or about a situation, or about something that they feel really has harmed or victimized them. And we could say that they are very much in the energetic signature of that situation. And I've personally been this person, and maybe you have been too. And I can, I just also have been in conversations like that with people, of course, so you'll know what I mean. But do you know what I mean when someone is so precise with the details? They remember everything. They're so connected to, it was this day at this time and this thing happened. And it's like they are totally out of their body while they're telling you the story. They are on autopilot, talking at you. They're reciting a poem that they're not even, the lights are on, nobody's home. And I've totally experienced that, where have a well-worn story that I think really justifies things or is important. And I'm just telling it. And then all of a sudden I just realized I'm not even there anymore. I am not even in my body telling this story. And so when we do that, then we're not going to get the benefits of visiting that energetic signature. And that's why you see people who are going around about something that happened for years, and they're not getting the benefits of it. And you can tell if someone's been very disembodied when it comes to these energetic signatures, because the story never changes. There's no new details. There's no actually I can take more responsibility here, or actually I now have compassion for the other person in this part of the story. Or actually looking back, I kind of see that, like, there's no new details to the retelling. When someone has the same freaking story for 20 years about what went wrong and there's no details that have changed, that's an example of someone who visits an energetic signature without receiving any of the benefits because they're not in their body while they're doing it. Because it's painful, right? Why would we leave our body when we visit these things? Because it's painful. And I think that's why, for example, I was able to watch that show, and I'll tell you, like, it was hilarious to me because I'm like, wow, I've never once thought about the fact that I don't relate ever to a hospital show when I spent so many years with patients in hospitals. It never even occurred to me that I should be able to relate to something on one of these shows. And then this show, within the first couple episodes, I could relate to like 7 different scenes, like 7 different things that happened. I had my own story of that. And that was such a cool experience because it reminded me how universal so many of our experiences that feel so specific to us or happen to us are so universal. And that's the beauty of creating art and creating storytelling, where like we get to see ourselves in different characters and scenes. And, I've also spent a lot of time in these energetic signatures writing a book about a specific period of time in my life. So spending so much time there consciously has allowed me to receive and release a lot, where I can be in these signatures differently. And that's what I think is an important aspect of doing this sort of work. And I think that's also, has to do with the fact that most likely if you're here right now, or if you're on this live right now, or you're watching it recorded, you're probably a sensitive person. And when we're highly sensitive people, we're really impacted by things. And we still have been living in a world that tells us not to be impacted, or that we shouldn't be as sensitive. And there's a period of time where it's just easier to be here a little less embodied if we're going to be this sensitive. So it's a longer practice. I just was working with someone today where it's like, when we're very sensitive and we can tell we have gifts to offer, there can be a lot of pressure to be out in the field offering it. But really, the first thing, once we realize how sensitive we are and how open we are and how much we're actually communicating with multiple dimensions of reality we are, how much we are doing that, there's a period of time where we have to really recalibrate how we live and recalibrate our life to really support being sensitive, and really support being able to be here and be in our bodies and like create a life that works. And I do think this is an energetic signature of that happening for many people. Obviously, there was a lot of tragedy and a lot of pain and fear in this energetic signature of COVID starting. But I also think this is a period of time where many people were given permission to live in a certain way that actually works better for a highly sensitive person, and have continued down that realm and have continued to feel more and more permission to live in the way they needed to live. I think that's one of the upshots of a really monumental and hard time for many people. So, okay, that's the transmission that I have for you. So we're just going to drop in and really just connecting, if you didn't already, just connecting with the law of readiness, really allowing yourself to relax into knowing that if you're ready to let go, you're going to let go. And just exhaling out. And if you're ready to really have and receive, you're going to have it. And just letting yourself feel that and relax. And to relax into knowing your higher self has got you. There's a plan here. And you are not brought into locations you're not ready for. There is always a way. We're just going to stay here for a minute, just letting this relaxing readiness energy move down the back of the body. And now really putting some awareness on your feet. Hopefully your feet are on the ground if possible. If not, just put your hands on your feet. And with the next few breaths, really breathing in some earth energy up through the feet, through the pelvis, into the throat, the heart. Letting something go, letting something go. Something you're ready to let go. You don't even need to know what it is because your higher self knows. So just breathing in the energy of earth, connecting with your heart, being in your body, exhaling out. Something is being let go. And now just feeling that relaxing relief, like maybe coming a little bit more into your pelvis, maybe coming a little bit more into your shoulders and your body. The relief of knowing it's going. Beautiful. And then the receiving is going to happen as we move into an energetic signature. So I want you to just picture whatever you want. So it could be a specific moment from the start of COVID 5 years ago, but it could also be another energy signature. Now that we're tracking this together, maybe you're realizing like, oh, there's a different anniversary or a different thing that's popping up for me this week, or a different relationship that's really loud this week, or whatever it is. But let yourself go, move towards an energetic signature, a field of energy that is really connected and related to a very specific thing. In this case, I'm talking about these dates from 5 years ago, but see if you want to join me there. But just go somewhere. Feel your higher self gently moving you into something. And whatever it is you're ready for, whatever you're seeing or connecting with, it's the right thing and you're ready for it. And so let's just take a few breaths here. And when you're there, just connecting with the scene, see if you can see the scene, some sort of image. What's something you can appreciate now that you couldn't appreciate at the start, at the creation of this signature? What's something you can appreciate now? Let that naturally come up. And then just breathe it in. Let yourself have that appreciation that you now have. Let yourself receive something that was great about that moment that you're now ready to see. Breathing that in. Without making any past version of you wrong for not seeing that until now. This is the exact time you are ready to see it. Breathe it in. You are ready to see it. This is the exact time. Letting that move all the way down, grounding you more deeply in your body. Now just letting yourself see a person related to the energetic signature that you're visiting right now. Just let yourself have the experience you needed to have. Maybe you had it, but let yourself embrace them, cry with them, set an angry boundary with them, whatever it was. See someone that's important from that energetic signature and let yourself embrace what you really are ready to receive from that relationship, bringing it right into your heart. Letting the love that maybe you weren't ready for until now really wrap around you, becoming a beautiful layer of protection. Something that will really support you and ground you as we continue through this eclipse season. Hey Art, hey Lewis. And now you're just going to feel into maybe something or someone that's part of this energetic signature, part of this period of time. If you're just joining us, I'm in the energetic signature of 5 years ago, COVID, but you could be in any signature you're connecting to right now during this eclipse. Someone you're still feeling conflict with from the creation of this signature. Some place in this signature where you're finally ready to receive peace. I want you to just see like a little boat, and you're just going to send whoever it was creating conflict for you around this signature into the boat and just send them on their way. Just releasing the conflict so that you can more deeply be in this energetic signature, more deeply understand and relate with it. Maybe it's an emotion or a belief you're putting in the boat, but you're just going to like send something away. The next couple breaths, you're just going to really connect with the space that you have now. There's spaciousness that you're receiving. There doesn't need to be so much compression, because you've actually integrated a lot of the creation of this signature. You're actually in a more healed place, whatever thing you're looking at, and you're ready for something new. And so the next few breaths, you're just letting yourself breathe in some space and some possibility that this anniversary, this event, this person, whatever it is you're deeply visiting right now, this memory, there's space to receive something new, to do something new with it. And notice that you're going to really stay in your body, because remember, we don't receive from these energy signatures when we're not in our body. Then we just are living in the story in the head. But I want you to connect to your body and really receive some new space around this signature, breathing that in. Exhaling out, feeling that space opening around you. Taking some deep breaths. And before we close, just noticing if there's a new detail, a new storyline, a new way of receiving from this anniversary, from this signature. Just something new you can add to this story so that it now is in your field and part of your life path in a new way. So a new piece of wisdom, a new piece of clarity that you have from where you stand right now, however many years forward from when this signature was created. And then when you have that, just feel yourself planting that into the energy that's around you. So that could just be like you picture planting it into the floor in front of you or planting it into the air. But you're just going to allow this new piece of clarity and wisdom to be woven into your life because you've done the work. You're years out. You're ready to receive something new from this signature. You're ready to understand something new. As you exhale out, just letting that energy begin to weave and do its work to create more space and possibility and love, kindness, and compassion in your reality. And we hold that intention for everyone, but I'm really feeling called to just have you stay close to your own reality, your own heart right now. That just really getting that message for sensitive people this week. It's like a moment to really have your own oxygen mask on. And these are the little moments we have to do that, right? To just stop and do a practice like that, like this. So just breathing that in, just really coming back into your body, knowing all is happening at the right time. You are receiving what you're ready to receive. You're releasing what you're ready to release. You have created a new way of being with this anniversary and this signature, whichever one you're in right now. Knowing that whatever we needed to release, we have done that. I never even thought about it, but that at the end of my Akashic sessions, I always say this, whatever we needed to receive. That's funny. I didn't even think of that this week. Whatever we needed to receive is with us now, and we're just sending gratitude to the guides and guardians of the Akashic field, of the energy of this technology that brings us together. And anything you're feeling gratitude for in this moment, that really seals a practice or an activation really nicely. Like it grounds it when you connect with the gift of truly being grateful, because that is a gift, to really truly be able to feel grateful for something, not force it, right? But to really be with gratitude. So to give yourself a moment to do that. Let it come in and let it just take some burdens off the shoulders. And then just move the body as you need to move the body, knowing that the work will continue beyond this time. We're always connected by heart. We're breathing back into existence, the door between worlds. The records are closed, and so it is. So glad we did that together. And if you want to share, anything about that experience in the comments, I'd love to hear it. What I heard for myself when I was really back there in that signature was just how like that specific thing that I was really tuned in. Hey, Missy. Oh, I've been wondering how you've been doing. We're just wrapping up, but this is a good one if you want to watch it later. The thing that I really felt in the energetic signature I visited was like, this was the moment I really learned how to be my own best friend. And that how much I appreciate that now. And and I think if we're talking about that period of time 5 years ago, good, definitely sending a person in that boat, as you should. I think that is a period of time where people had to really learn. I'm glad you're great. I'm glad you'll watch this. I feel like this was a nice eclipse moment. And we've been in the energetic signature. We've been visiting like important energetic signatures from different periods of life, working with the Law of Readiness, working with what's relevant to us right now. And this week, 5 years ago, was when COVID really turned on and changed everybody's life. And so this is 5 years out. We really have had some inner and outer transformation where there's something new to receive from visiting that energetic signature of the creation of this period of time. But yeah, that was something. So you're so ready. And yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm running low on battery here. When we really know we're ready, you know, we can do anything. And I just definitely have really seen that for people I work with and for myself, when it's like, oh my God, I'm going to do that. And then it's just like, when you're really connected to what's true and you're really in your body, you know what you're ready for. And it's just like something is going to work out. The right circumstances, the right resources, like something moves us when we're ready. So I'm so glad to hear you're feeling that way. Yeah, and it was so good to have you all here. And I just wish you a great rest of the week into the weekend. And again, I just want to like lay that down again, because I'm really getting that message for people, particularly people I was working with today. But I just think highly sensitive people in general, this is a moment to really make sure you have begin to even, not even huge changes, right? We don't need to blow up our life, but make sure you're making those little adjustments and changes so that you're really able to be in your body and taking great care of yourself. Like, because we are the highly sensitive people in the world, like it's just, the volume just keeps getting louder for everyone. So we really want to make sure that we are being really well cared for. And we may need some new adjustments that we didn't need even a few months ago. We may need to make some new adjustments right now to make sure we're really well cared for and we really have the oxygen mask on. That's just a message I've been getting for sure this week. And sometimes that is the work of being a practitioner. Like, actually, that's so much of the work of being a practitioner is making sure you're living and caring for yourself in a way where you can actually be a clear channel and you've integrated and you're actively doing your own work. So we're not projecting, but we're using our past as wisdom. Yeah, I'm really getting a strong message of just like, let's all make sure we're really taking great care of ourselves, because the highly sensitive people in the world are playing such an important role at this time. Vanessa, lovely to see you. I'm sure we'll talk soon. But that's it, I think. So feel free to share anything else or ask any questions. And on Thursday, I'm going to be doing a spring equinox experience with my friend Sarah. So I'm going to post about that. It'll be at noon on Thursday, the 20th, which is the equinox. So have a beautiful night. Love this group. If you're watching recorded, your energy was part of it. Love you too. All right. Bye.